Hi, I'm Brandon Root, the founder of Simily, and I'm really excited to share my experience as a first-time founder with you guys. I've been working on Simily for about a year, and it launches next week, so I'm right in the thick of it right now. Really exciting stuff. Briefly, Simily predicts who you're going to be friends with, and then lets you access that information however you'd like. So it's basically meetup.com meets a dating algorithm, kind of. You can join groups, go on dates, find roommates, or even co-founders that you'll like. I'm really excited to tell my story because I'm an unconventional co-founder. I am a psychology major from Carleton College, and I taught myself to code. It's a steeper learning curve, definitely, than people who start out with a CS degree, but it's a lot of fun. I came up with my idea when I moved to New York in 2009 from Minnesota, and it sucks to go from having a ton of friends, to having no friends when you move to a new city. I'm sure many of you guys have had that experience. It's kind of barren, not being connected to that network that you have freshman year of college. So I wanted to start a startup to make it easier to meet people that you're going to like. I knew it was going to be really hard, not having a really technical background from college. I knew I could, crush the psychology part of it, but I knew I had to be a much better coder. But when you're starting a startup, you of course have that period where you're like, oh, my idea is awesome. I'm totally going to rock this. And, you want to be honest with yourself at that point. It can be easy to find yourself in a bubble where all the ideas you think you know are going to be great when in fact you're more like this dog up here. You have no idea what you're doing. And it's okay to have those conversations with yourself. I wish I knew two things when I started my startup. First was the lean method. I had no idea. And second is a quote from Ira Glass of This American Life. All of us who do creative work, we get to it because we have good taste, but there's a gap. For the first couple of years you make stuff, it's just not that good. It's trying to be good, it has potential, but it's not. But your taste, the thing that makes you awesome, is still killer. And your taste is why your work disappoints you. A lot of people never get past this phase. They quit. And it's okay to accept that early on, a lot of your ideas are going to be terrible. That's okay. That means you're executing on your ideas. You're learning. And I realized early on that my friends looked an awful lot like the target audience I was going for. They were nerdy 20-somethings. So you have to talk to everybody. And because they're going to tell you which of your ideas suck. I mean, not all their input is going to be great. I mean, you have to have a filter. Sometimes you just have to stick to your guns. But having other people, look at what you're doing and force you to have limits is what is going to make your startup great. Limits are good. They force you to be creative. Because you know what it looks like when you don't have limits? It looks like a guy we've all come to know and love, Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks happened because George Lucas did not have limits with episodes 1, 2, and 3. He could blow as much money as he wanted. And you know what? It sucked. It sucked a lot. Because he didn't have someone standing over his shoulder going, George, it's a really terrible idea. It's a really bad idea. And this was awesome. Star Wars was great because there were limits. He did have some people, a lot of people standing over his shoulder going, George, we don't have the money to do that. Not at all. Not the budget. Nope. So if you're a first-time founder, you need to accept that some of your first work is going to look like this. And that's okay. It's okay. Because you know what? It's going to get better. You can iterate with your friends. And even if you're coming from an unconventional background like mine, if you're a psychology major, if you're an English major, you will pull a lot more than you think from your liberal arts background. Because you spend a lot less time than you think actually doing the code. And you do need to learn how to code and to do it well. And it is definitely a tough slope if you're not, from a CS background initially. But if you're smart and you're really, really dedicated, you can do it. So if you're out there thinking about starting a startup and you're an English major and you're really passionate about it, absolutely do it. It has been an unbelievable amount of fun. I just can't say enough about how incredible this past year has been, whether Simily explodes or not. So if this idea intrigues you, I would love to talk to you guys later. Launches November 3rd, the beta. Follow me on Twitter at @BrandonRoot. And thank you for listening to me.